Okay, it's 9 o'clock. The meeting is called to order. We're meeting in the central jury room at 1200 West Pearl Street, Granbury, Texas. The first item is the invocation. Would y'all please rise for the invocation and the pledges?
Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to meet today as servants of your community. Truly democracy in action. We ask for your guidance, your wisdom in all that we do. Please bring the troops home safely. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Y'all join me to pledge allegiance to this great nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Join me in the pledge to Texas. Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Thank y'all very much. Do we have special presentations this morning? Okay, Sheriff, are your people here? Very good.
Today we have two presentations for 20-year awards, 20 years dedicated service. So, first one I'll call up, I got my hand is Ty Reynolds.
All right, the next item on the agenda is a resolution. And would you read that resolution, please, Jeff?
Sure.
It's a resolution recognizing Tony Brown Ballou. Whereas Hood County Commissioners Court recognizes Tony Brown Ballou for her service with the United Way of Hood County for more than 15 years, whereas she was one of the founding board members for Mission Granbury, Ruth's Place twice, organizing volunteer doctors and nurse practitioners, and instrumental in getting equipment donated to the facility. Whereas Mrs. Ballou was one of the founding board members for United Way of Hood County, and in 2000 became executive director for the United Way, working behind the scenes, taking care of all the details, yet being the driving force for the United Way of Hood County. Whereas Tony Brown Ballou's career began early in high school, she worked with underprivileged kids at the Texas Lions Camp in Kerrville, Texas, and in college began working with Public Service Project. Whereas in Tarrant County, Mrs. Ballou worked for Edna Gladney, now called the Gladney Center for Adoption, Tarrant County YMCA, Fort Worth Independent School District with the Adopt a School program, and Sister Cities program in Fort Worth. Whereas Tony Brown Ballou moved to Hood County to retire and gave passionately to the community, sharing her vision, working tirelessly for the United Way, as well as being a mentor for many young executive directors of the partnering agencies. Therefore, be it resolved that the Commissioners Court of Hood County, Texas recognizes Tony Brown Ballou for her outstanding service and tireless work for the benefit of others. Her generous guidance for professional leaders of the community will long be remembered and cherished by all. Signed this 28th day of April, 2015.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve that resolution.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Deaver. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Tout. Any further discussion? Then all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Just a second. Brenda, are you just here for that? Okay, why don't, hold on 1 minute. Do you have that resolution? Let's let everybody sign it so she doesn't have to sit through the whole thing. Thank y'all very much. Here you go, sign now.
This will be presented to her on May the 7th.
Okay. Steve Berry is not here. He's in Austin on a county business, so. He's not here to sign it. But I'll let you take it right now. Maybe we can get him to sign it later. Okay, yes, I think he's the one that's going to read it, so he can sign it then.
Two of them here. Yes, two of them.
Was there?
Yeah, we signed the copy.
1 second. Yeah. There was 2 copies, and we signed the copy and not the original, so we're having to go back over it. This is a little bit. Does anyone in the crowd wish to make any comments about any agenda item? If you do, raise your hand, and the sheriff will have a form while we're doing that. Anyone? Okay, no one? All right, while Jeff is finishing that up, the next item is a proclamation declaring the National Day of Prayer, Thursday, May the 7th, and Commissioner Barton is going to read that proclamation.
Proclamation, 2015 National Day of Prayer. Whereas, throughout history, mankind has relied upon prayer for comfort, direction, and strength, and whereas these prayers encompass concern for family, community, state, nation, and the world, and whereas in 1952, an annual National Day of Prayer was made official with the signing of a joint resolution of the U.S. Congress by President Harry Truman, and whereas in 1988, President Ronald Reagan set the date of the annual Day of Prayer as the first Thursday of May, and whereas the National Day of Prayer pays tribute to our nation's democracy, which respects the beliefs and protects the religious freedom of all people to pray, worship, or abstain according to the dictates of their conscience. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Darrell Cockrum, County Judge, along with the Commissioners Court of Hood County, hereby proclaim recognition of Thursday, May 7th, 2015, as a National Day of Prayer, and commend this observance to all citizens of Hood County, Texas, signed on this 28th day of April, 2015.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve this proclamation.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Barton. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Deaver. Any further discussion?
Yeah, Judge, also, she has laid out some brochures for us, and I will place one of these on my door at the county office, so consider the rest of the court members to do so also.
Okay.
And do.
Any other discussion? Then all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carried. Thank y'all very much. On the other side of this is we're having the marathon prayer reading in the gazebo, and we got an email, and I've talked to some people about this yesterday, saying that if we allowed that to happen, they were going to file suit against the county. And but basically, my opinion is that it's a personal opinion, but if we allow one group to use it, we have weddings down there and a lot of things. We can't deny anybody the right to do that, no matter what they're doing there. So anyway, as far as I'm concerned, they can go ahead. We'll see what happens. All right, the next item is, like I said, no citizen has anything they'd like to comment on? Not you, Lynn. You're not a citizen. All right, consent agenda. Does any commissioner wish to pull anything off of the consent agenda? Here, seeing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Deaver. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Barton. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion carried. The next item on the agenda is it road division plats?
Morning, Judge Cochran.
Morning.
The first item that we have is the discuss and take appropriate action on accepting the following dedicated roadways in Comanche Cove, Precinct 2, for passable maintenance onto the county road system. We have Bobcat Trail from Thicket Trail to Orion Way, 926 feet. Orion Way from Thicket Trail to Bobcat Trail, 1,170 feet. On Park Drive, from Bosque River Drive to Pease River Drive, 240 feet. We have Pease River Drive, from Brazos River Drive to Paluxy Trail, 1,845 feet. And the last one is Woodmere Trail, from Creekview Drive to Hercules Court, 775 feet. Your Honor, this comes to 4,596 feet, or 94 hundredths of a mile.
Okay, and you're recommending the passage of these?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve these dedications of roadways in Comanche Cove, Precinct 2.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Barton. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Tout. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is discuss and take appropriate action on accepting the following dedicated roadways in Quail Ridge Acres, Precinct 4 for passable maintenance onto the county road system.
Judge, this one is South Blue Quail Court in Quail Ridge Acres. It runs from Quail Ridge Court to its cul-de-sac, a length of 685 feet. From the last court in Precinct 4, we had 4,340 feet. With this added, if accepted, it will come to 5,025 feet, or 95 hundredths of a mile. Precinct 4. Recommend approval.
Okay, since the Commissioner Precinct 4 is not here, I'll make that motion to accept these dedicated roadways.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Deaver. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion carried. As a set a public hearing to discuss and consider the replat of Lot 52R Orchards on the Brazos.
Judge, we have item C.
Oh, did I miss one? Okay, discuss and place a fast black sealant on Acton Annex parking lot.
Judge, Buildings and Grounds has requested that we clean that parking lot so they can restripe it. But talking with Commissioner Tout, we've looked at the pavement. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and put a sealant on it this time. I don't know. We've done some repairs on that parking lot, but I think this would make it last a little bit longer before we do have to do any major.
Okay. Are you making that motion?
Make that motion. We accept that.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Tout, seconded by Commissioner Barton, to allow the road ops to put sealant on the Acton Annex parking lot. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Now, set a public hearing to discuss and consider the replat of Lot 52R Orchards on the Brazos.
Judge, staff recommends setting a public hearing for the June 9th Commissioners Court meeting.
All right, I entertain a motion to set a public hearing for June the 9th for the replat of Lot 52R Orchards on the Brazos.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Barton. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Tout. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. Budget and Finance, consider budget line item amendments for the period of April the 7th through April the 20th and take appropriate action.
Judge and Commissioners, those amendments were already handled in your consent agenda.
Okay, then moving on, consider payment of bills.
Judge, Commissioners, the total of these bills as listed for you come to $488,389.38. The largest one being to CDW Government, Inc., and that is $175,193.94. That is primarily for tough books in law enforcement applications. Then for road materials, we have $27,252.09 to Cleveland Asphalt Products and $29,262.36 to Vulcan Materials. And then there's also $33,675.44 to Tyler Technologies for the annual maintenance on the county clerk's Tyler Eagle program. That is what the county clerk uses to supply vital records across the internet. We would request your approval to pay these bills.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to ratify paying of the bills.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Deaver. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Barton. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Consider and take appropriate action to accept the annual audit report presentation by Paula Lowe of Patillo, Brown, and Hill.
Judge and Commissioners, I'm pleased to introduce Paula Lau. She's with the Waco firm of Patillo, Brown, and Hill, and she's here to present the annual financial report.
I'm Paula Lau with Patillo, Brown and Hill. I'm here today to present you the annual financial report for fiscal year 2014. I think each of you have a copy in front of you, a copy of the annual financial report, and also the other smaller document that we have presented as well. If we will turn to page 1 of this document, there you will find our independent auditor's report. And basically what that report says is that we have audited company financial statements in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards as well as government auditing standards, and those standards require that we plan and perform the audit to obtain a reasonable assurance that these financial statements are materially correct. And we were able to render an unmodified opinion, and an unmodified opinion is the highest opinion that can be rendered and is known as a clean opinion to most individuals. What I'm going to do today is just kind of go through a couple of the numbers and point out a few highlights to you. But as I'm going through, if you have any questions, feel free to ask as well. On page 19 of the annual financial report, you will find the balance sheet for the governmental funds for the county at the end of the fiscal year. And at the end of the year, you can see the total fund balance for the general fund was approximately $10.5 million, with unassigned fund balance being approximately $8.7 million. The special road and bridge fund, approximately $320,000 of fund balance, and the office equipment C&M fund had almost $1 million of fund balance there. And also, as you see a column for the other non-major governmental funds, you can see at the bottom has a total fund balance of almost $13 million. A lot of that fund balance is included in, it includes the limited notes and bonds that were issued by the county towards the end of the fiscal year last year. Those bonds will, or as everyone knows, are to be spent on the YMCA building. Flipping through on page 21, you'll see the activity for the governmental funds. And you see total revenues for the general fund are approximately $22 million. Expenditures were $1 million. And then you can see your other financing uses and sources, where you have the general fund did transfer some funds out to the grant fund of almost $2 million, and then result into a net change of a decrease of almost $800,000. And flipping through the reports, you will then find the notes to the financial statements. The notes to the financial statements provide some additional information and lets the user understand the basis of accounting that is being used to present this report as well. Because we all know with governmental accounting, there's two bases of accounting that you find within this document. But also, you will find some more detailed information for the capital assets of the county, and as well as the long-term debt, which it seems like a lot of people like to know what are the long-term liabilities that the county does have to pay for in future years. You can see on that on page 39, and you can see the total long-term liabilities of the county as of 9/30/2014 were approximately $26 million. Additionally, on page 40, you will find some information in regards to the pension plan of the county. And in fiscal year 2015, the county is required to implement a new accounting standard, GASB 68, or the new pension standards as we refer to them. And the county will be required to include a liability in the financial statements going on in years forward. As you can see, the unfunded liability on page 42 as of December 31st, 2013 is approximately $607,000, which, as you can see, the funding ratio here at this particular county is 97.35% as of 12/31/2013. That's very good. And I don't see any other county with having a funding ratio quite where this one is. There are some counties that are 100% or a little bit more, but most of them that I see are probably like 80 to 85%. So that's compliments to commissioners here today, and just how good of a steward you are being of the funds and putting them in places where to help the financial position of the county. Flipping through the financial statements, you will find some other required information, budget actual schedules, additional information about some of the other non-major governmental funds as well. But flipping through another area is the single audit section of this report. Page 81, you will find our report in accordance with government auditing standards. At the beginning, you heard me refer to those. And what those standards require us to do is to consider the internal controls of the county. And as we're going through that process, if we come across something that we feel like that those controls would not detect a material misstatement to these financial statements, we are required to report that to you here today. And I'm happy to say we do not have anything to include in this. And also, we have a report required with OMB Circular A133, which basically means that since the county did expend more than $500,000 of federal awards, we were required to do some additional compliance testing over those federal awards. And the one that we had to select based on our risk assessment from the guidance that's provided to us is the donation of the federal surplus property that you guys had, that the county had, which was approximately $324,000. Once again, I'm happy to let you know that we did not find a material noncompliance there as well, so we were able to give you an unmodified opinion. On page 87, you see the schedule of findings and question cost. That's a very nice summary of this report. It says type of report on the financial statements, unmodified, no material weaknesses or significant deficiencies, and it informs you of the major program that we had to test for single audit as well. So, but I just wanted to make sure that I compliment Stan and all of the work that he's done for the county, and let everyone know how much we have appreciated our firm over the past few years and just being able to provide a service to you as well. We appreciate that. But if anyone has any questions?
Thank you very much for this good report, and again, thanks to Stan and for everything that he does on making sure that we stay out of trouble, right, Stan? Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Lau?
No, it's pretty much all teamwork effort. Stan does a great job, treasurer, purchasing, sheriff department. It's all a team effort, the way we got this done.
I agree. I definitely agree. And also, too, software conversion was done over the past fiscal year that we looked at as well. And I know there's always some kinks and things you have to work out as you go through that process. But I'm glad to let you know that there wasn't that much of a hiccup related to us for the audit whatsoever. So that's definitely some additional good news.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for all the hard work y'all have done. I think this is your last year you'll be doing this, but we really appreciate it. You've been a real asset to our county and these audits.
I appreciate it too, and if you down the road, if you need something from us, definitely let us know.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion to accept the annual audit report presented by Paula Lau, Patilla Brown and Hill.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Tout. To have a second?
Second?
Second by Commissioner Barton. Is there any further discussion? And all in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion carried.
Thank you, Judge. Just to let you know, now that you've approved it, I will post this to the county website. It will be available for anyone to read.
Okay, thank you, Stan. The next item is to take appropriate action to allow county judge to sign an agreement with the city of Granbury for a water well on Highway 51 North. It's really a tri-county electric cooperative easement, and but it's just another example of the cooperation between the county and city, and we've enjoyed working with them. I'll entertain a motion to allow the judge to sign this agreement.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Deaver, seconded by Commissioner Barton. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion carried. Consider and take appropriate action nominated Mike Massey for another term of the Upper Groundwater Conservation District Board of Directors. Commissioner Precinct 2.
Right. Mike has done an outstanding job for us on that, and he is here today. Mike, stand up and be acknowledged. Mike has dedicated and devoted a considerable effort and time to represent the county, and we're happy to have him back on the team after this nomination. Thank you.
Judge, I'd like to say something. I had some issues in Toller about some wells being drilled. Got on the phone, called Mike, gave me all the information I needed. Mike, appreciate the job. Well done.
So who you making that motion?
I'm making a motion to nominate Mike Massey for another term on the Upper Trinity Groundwater Conservation District Board of Directors.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Deaver. I wished I could have gotten, because I was going to tell you that I'm sorry, but I got too much opposition, Mike, and we weren't going to do this, but I never did get back there to do it, so. You're just going to do this thing? Yeah, that's probably right.
Mike is a great asset. He's easy to get a hold of, and I think we're making a good choice here.
I tell you one thing I really like about Mike is some people serve on boards and just to serve on a board. Mike is really interested and he's really concerned about the groundwater, and he does his homework, he studies, he knows the issues, and like everybody said, you've been a great asset.
You can find him, too.
You can find him. If you can't find him, you can find Christy, who can find him. All right, is there, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
Consider and take appropriate action regarding a request from Steve Dietrich, Director of the Convention and Visitors Bureau of the City of Granbury, for permission to the square for the Summer Concert Square Series. Yes, Steve.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Yes, we are requesting use of the northwest corner of the square for our summer concert series, which I believe is going on our third year now. These will be held on the third Saturday of the month from May through August, and the specific dates are May 16th, June 20th, July 18th, and August the 15th. We have in the past, and we anticipate doing so again, utilizing the northwest corner of the square. First thing on Saturday morning, we block off the entrance on Houston, and we close all of that to the gazebo area. So it's to the north and east there, that little corner. The stage is set up facing the east, and last year we averaged between 300 and 500 attendees at these concerts, so they're becoming more and more popular. Ask for your...
When do you block off Houston Street?
We don't block off Houston at
I mean, the entrance.
First thing Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, okay.
7 o'clock.
All right, real good. I'll entertain a motion to allow Steve Dietrich, the Director of the Convention Bureau and Visitors Bureau of the City of Granbury, permission to use the square for the summer concert.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Deaver. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Barton. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Consider and take appropriate action regarding request from the sheriff to promote Denise Lazen to Lieutenant Step 3.
Judge, Commissioners, this is because I lost Kathy to constable, so I've picked Denise to be my new administrative lieutenant. Because of her qualifications and degrees that she has a degree in human resource. I think she'll be an excellent fit in that, help me and keep dispatch going and do a lot of other things for me. So because of her qualifications and her time in service and her enthusiasm, I ask that we'd be able to start her at Step 3. Add in there that if everything goes good, then move her up to Step 4 within 90 days.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the sheriff's request to promote Denise Lazen to Lieutenant Step 3.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Tout. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Barton. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Discuss and take action to authorize the County Health Department to provide 10 discounted dump permits to the Lighthouse Ministries cleanup operation. Commissioner Precinct 2, you want to
Yes, this is a
come on up, James. You can come on up.
on up. This is an issue that we had on the agenda last Commissioners Court, and pending a legal review, it was tabled. A legal review has been concluded, and we've got a green light to pursue this. So I'm making a motion. Well, I'll let James, is there anything else that you want to say about it, James?
I just wanted to reiterate that it was requested that that if the court decides to issue the vouchers, that they would be usable for the month of May.
So I want to make a motion to have the Health Department issue those dumping permit coupons to Lighthouse Ministries.
For 10 discounted dumping permits.
Right.
All right.
For the whole month of May?
For the month of May, and
That gives them time, weekends, stuff.
Yeah, it's a big job.
Yeah.
as far as discounted, that would be it.
All right, I have a motion, and do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Deaver. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, James. Thank you, Commissioner. Consider and take appropriate action regarding a request from the sheriff that Crown Vic Unit 298 be removed from the sheriff's inventory and placed in the inventory for IT, for the Crown Vic Unit 291 to be removed from the sheriff's inventory and placed in the inventory of the county judge. Come on up, Sheriff, you need. You don't really, but I know you would like to talk, so come on.
Judge, Commissioners, I come before you at this time to ask that we move Unit 298 and Unit 291 out of my inventory so they can be better used throughout the county. So if we haven't already done the transfer on the inventory, we'll make sure that gets done. Approval. I think the IT vehicle is already in service.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Well, one of the things is the county is getting more and more spread out. We have offices out in Acton, and IT has to run between the offices. In the courthouse and the Justice Center and the LEC and the new EOC. So we are repurposing these vehicles instead of buying new vehicles to be used. Basically, these old Crown Vics that we get rid of are not worth hardly anything. They don't bring much on the market. So if we can take a $25,000 replacement. What's something we were going to have to spend $25,000 on and replace it with a vehicle that we're taking out of service because of the high mileage and repurpose it. I think that's a good thing. Now, people say, well, why are you doing that? Why is it necessary? If the sheriff can't use it, how come other departments? Because the sheriff's department would have to use it in maybe a pursuit or something, other police work, that it may not qualify for that, but but just to deliver, to go out and repair a computer or something like that, or deliver files between offices, it's perfectly good for that. So I'll entertain a motion to approve this request.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Deaver. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Barton. Any further discussion? Then all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Consider and take appropriate action to request the Lipan Marshal for a donation of surplus vehicles, purchasing, and Commissioner Precinct 1.
Morning, Judge and Commissioners. This request was brought to me by Commissioner Deaver. Lipan feels a need to have name in the hat for some that might be retiring. I have obtained the letter from the fire marshal requesting the donation, and
Yep. I talked to the marshal here a while back, and one of his cars, just his motor's about done on it. Got nearly 200,000 miles on it, and they're going to have to spend a lot of money to repair the car, which is already worn out. So they're requesting, and then they got another car that's got nearly 180,000 miles on it, and it's nearly getting wore out. And they're requesting for us to, two options here for the court to decide. To donate one to them, and they will buy the other one, or donate both vehicles to them. So, and the cars, I've talked to Lynn, talked to Nella, the cars at the auction, if they buy one of them, we'll have to kind of set a price on one of them, or if the court decides to donate both of them, we don't have to worry about that. The cars, Lynn, don't they sell for anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000?
Yes, sir. The units that I have pulled out, one is 126,000.
You already got them set aside for,
Pulled out, stripped out, ready for y'all's decision.
so if we want to donate both of them, or they said they'd be willing to buy one of them, and we donate one of them to them, it's up to the court to decide which way we want to go.
and it is allowed in government code for us to do this for other.
We did it for Toller.
And that's why the letter is required, so that we can show that they needed the donation.
I know that there's something in there about the size of the city or something like that in there, in that government code, that are not, okay. Well, what about, I'll entertain a motion to either donate both of those cars, or donate one and buy, let them buy one. So
Here's what we've done in the past. We donated one to Toller. So to make it fair, I'd say we donate one and ask them to buy the other one.
all right, is that your motion, Commissioner? All right, Commissioner Deaver has made a motion that we donate one car to the city of Lipan and offer the other one for purchase. Do I have a second for that?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Barton. Any further discussion?
One other thing, how are we going to come up with a cost for them to buy?
I would suggest you take maybe one of the last auctions, and that some were turned in, and average the price.
Okay.
That's fair. Okay. All right, well, now we have a motion made by Commissioner Deaver and seconded by Commissioner Barton to allow the city of Lipan to purchase a car, and we'll donate them a car out of the sheriff's surplus fleet. Any further discussion on that? Then all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank y'all. Consider for approval changes to the certification and specialty pay policy and take appropriate action.
Judge and Commissioners, the TCO has established a new master's level certification for telecommunications employees to be consistent with the other areas of certification, law enforcement, and jail. So it's a new master's level, and we're asking to approve that so we can pay those telecommunications employees that do achieve that level.
Okay, does anybody have any questions about this?
Do we have a sense of the dollars, just rough dollars, that's going to add to us?
The master's level is $92.31 per pay period, $2,400 a year.
Okay.
They're all consistent across the board.
We can do that, can't we, Stan?
And as long as there's budget.
Well, this is mandated, if I'm reading it correctly.
So, yes,
Yeah.
certification at master's level.
The thing about it is, I think that's mandated, but the amount is a discretion of the Commissioners Court, isn't that right? Somebody?
Dispatches.
Everything else has been covered. Yeah, I was going through that yesterday and saw that.
So the precedent has been set. We've just added a particular human resources personnel that now has to have it and should be compensated, dispatchers.
Do you have money in your budget for that, Sheriff? Once again. All right. Then I'll entertain a motion. I believe the treasurer says that he does have money.
That was my question. If, I have no problem with this.
All right, I entertain a motion to allow the changes to the certification specialty pay.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Deaver. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Barton. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Consider and take appropriate action on request from LC Tech.
Elise.
Pardon?
Elise.
Elise
Technical.
Technitine, chairperson for the, and I hope that when I'm doing the Bible reading, they don't give me some of that Old Testament stuff, because I'm not really good on names. And this is the chairperson for the Harvest Moon Festival and the Arts at Courthouse Square. Anyway, go ahead, make your presentation.
Good morning.
Yes.
Thanks for me to stay. I'm going to read because I don't want to mess up. I'm Elise Tekentine. I'm a local artist and the chairperson for the Harvest Moon Festival of Arts, along with Brenda Hyde. I would like to request the closure of the courthouse parking area after 5 o'clock on Thursday, October the 18th, to facilitate artists load-in during the daylight hours of the festival. So the load-in usually occurs after business is over at 5, and a lot of artists are coming from very far away, and we had a lot of safety concerns with artists trying to load in at dark. Some of them were still loading their booths at midnight. I personally had a really hard time staying up till midnight helping them load in. I had a lot of safety concerns with that. Also, along with the daylight loading hours for safety issues, I would really love to be able to welcome them in a more hospitable way, to offer them a reception that Friday night in their honor. They have lots of options. These are traveling festival artists. They have lots of options for going to festivals all over the country, and I want for Granbury to be their favorite place to come every single year. It will really help rebuild the future of this festival, this arts festival. I have a lot of excitement about it, and I'm really excited to be chairing it for my second year. But I do see safety when we load in the dark. So if you have any questions, the festival will begin on Saturday for load-in to happen all day on Friday at certain slots of the day. So I would need the entire square area closed on that Friday morning, so Thursday night after 5.
Well, I really have a problem with this, and I tell you why. Is because the Veterans Service Office is there. We have a lot of veterans coming in there, and a lot of them are disabled. And I can't close the square for them. I mean, because, and we have other people coming into the courthouse also. So, but I think we can make some accommodations. But, maybe close it after 3 or something like that. But I don't think all day is a good idea.
Are there are other festivals that close it during the day?
Not that I know of.
July, Christmas cards, they're closed all day
load-in.
Well, I'm thinking that we're going to have to change that because of this veteran service officer.
Judge, on the 4th of July, the county's shut down anyway.
Yeah, that's right, never mind. So, yeah, so that's right, especially this year.
Yeah, and the Living Christmas Cards had the square closed the entire day on Friday.
Really? Well,
It's a very big production, as well as this arts festival. Last year, I had 46 artists that came from everywhere from California to Georgia and every state in between, Kansas, all over Texas, which you know is not a small drive.
no, I know.
So it was really hard to load them in late. Some of them had very expensive works. They can't see what they're doing. They're tripping over. It was a really difficult evening. If there's some accommodation that can be made, I would really, really appreciate it, just so we can at least have 4 hours of daylight minimum.
Well, I think from 3 to,
It'll be dark at 5:30 in October.
really?
Ish, right?
Yeah, getting pretty close.
It was completely dark by 6 o'clock.
We compromise on this, maybe close part of the square, or is that an option?
Yeah, or at least maybe there's some way that we can still get the veteran services in even while I would be willing to find a volunteer to facilitate that in some way, or, if there's anything I can do personally. I'm just one person, but I feel like I can accomplish a lot with the help of several people, and this is really, really important. The Harvest Moon Festival is something we're all really proud of, and over the course of several years, it has become a non-arts festival, and it's my sincere wish to turn it right back into a premier arts event where people are coming and spending the night and spending money in the county.
With the whole square?
The arts, because a lot of times, this is the only opportunity local people have to see art from other places, so.
I really also, when we were redoing the courthouse, we heard nothing but complaints about the courthouse being closed from the merchants in and around the square. And now we're going to take out a shopping day for,
Except a festival on the square adds to a shopping day.
but it does on Saturdays, but, I just find some,
This will benefit, this is going to benefit those that it is going to impede. I think we can accommodate, and I'm not sure how we can do it, to make sure that the veterans' door, that entrance is accessible to them with some type of posting, or that, and I know that Linda Mallon could put that word out. Hopefully we can do something that benefits all concerned. This is a huge economic boon to the county/city.
Yeah, we just witnessed that with Wine Walk. I'm also the artist coordinator for Wine Walk, and we had a huge weekend. It really is beneficial to, if we treat artists and vendors like people and not commodity, they're more likely to return, to talk really well about the county and their time spent here. If we don't treat them like people and we require them to shoehorn in the middle of the night, then we're not treating them like people.
how about 1 o'clock?
That would be great.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to allow the closing of the square on Thursday afternoon Thursday at 1 o'clock. Is anybody making that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Go ahead.
She requested at 5 o'clock on Thursday. You're talking about 1 o'clock on Friday?
No, Thursday.
1 o'clock on Friday?
No, I think to accommodate, the accommodation would be 1 o'clock on Friday.
Friday.
Yeah,
Okay.
because she doesn't.
5 o'clock on,
Yes,
yeah.
not all the day.
1 o'clock on Friday.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I almost got my cake and ate it too.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it was almost a really good deal. So the motion made by Commissioner Barton is to close the square at 1 o'clock p.m. on Friday to get ready for the Harvest Moon Festival of Arts that begins on Saturday.
Yes, sir. That'll be October the 16th on Friday.
Okay. All right, I have a motion. Do I have a
Does that
second?
include closing at 5 o'clock on Thursday, too?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
No.
Because at least it will
Normal
give the
shopping.
Veterans Office a few hours in the morning, and I'm still willing to help facilitate any of that in any way I can. I don't want to inconvenience anyone at all, and in fact, that's very important. I didn't consider that. I was only considering what I needed.
Sure.
And that's.
Well, I really, we have a veteran here, and, and there's 6,000 of them in the county, and I really, yeah, so I just like to look out for those folks.
And I would ask if you would coordinate with Linda Mallon, get out in front of it with newsletter notification. Thank you.
Okay, the motion is made by Commissioner Barton is to allow the square to be closed at 1 p.m. on Friday to get ready for the Harvest Moon Festival of the Arts on October, that would be October 16th at 1 o'clock to get ready for the October 17th and 18th festival. All right, now do I have a second for that motion?
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. Do I have any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Yeah. Consider and take appropriate action regarding the contract from the GTL for the phone system of the jail.
Judge, Commissioners, we've been working on this for a while, trying to get coordination with other counties, with Johnson County, but we worked it out to where we've got our own contract here in front of us, and the packet that I gave you today, on the back part of that, it has revisions that were made by our attorney, and so on the top copy is the copy that I'll ask the judge to sign today. This is the inmate telephone system, and we've been with GTL for the whole time I've been sheriff. They do an exceptionally good job, and by getting this contract signed, then we'll be able to get some new high-tech equipment. They do an exceptional job at working with us, and then we'll have training on that equipment too. Ms. White, the representative of that company, is here today if you have any questions that I can't answer. But I recommend, Lori's good with this. Their attorneys are good with the provisions, so ask that you approve this contract and allow the judge to sign.
Magic deal is no extra cost to the county for this service.
No, that's one thing about this. This doesn't cost the county anything. It's a benefit to the county to get this equipment in there for the inmates, and then the county makes the money off of that we get, and then you get deposited monthly for the expenses there, what they run up in bills. So it doesn't cost anything up front. The county makes money in the long run.
Okay, are you making that motion, Commissioner?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Barton. Motion made by Commissioner Deaver to allow the county judge to sign a GTL contract for the phone system for the inmates at the jail. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Consider and take appropriate action regarding a request from a county clerk to promote Virginia to step CS3, step 6, to fill a vacancy.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Yes, I have a vacancy for Deputy Clerk 2. I'd like to promote Virginia Severo to Deputy Clerk 1 to fill that vacancy, the Deputy Clerk 2 position. Got lots of experience.
I got a question.
Yes.
You got money in the budget for this?
Yes.
There's only $1 difference.
Yes, actually, it will save the county money when I go to fill Virginia's position.
Right. Now, I did the math on it. I was going to give you a hard time about from the promotion to the other one, there's about $1 difference, I think.
Right, she'll probably be making $20 more, and then we'll save on health benefits also.
Right.
Okay, who's making this motion then?
So is the treasurer and auditor all clear on this? Good?
It's good with the policy, I know that.
Okay. I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Deaver. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Barton to take appropriate action regarding the request from the county clerk to promote Virginia Chavero to CS3, Step 6, to fill a vacancy. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. It is now, I guess, is it, hold on one second. It's now 9:54 and we're adjourned.